Let me ask you something gently. Have you noticed how a year doesn't elapse all at once, but slowly, quietly, through days that felt ordinary? The truth is, nothing dramatic decides your year. No single moment. No overnight breakthrough. It's the first 30 days, soft, subtle, almost invisible, that decide everything. January is not just a page on the calendar. It's a mirror. It reflects how you speak to yourself when no one is watching. It reveals whether you rush your healing or allow it, whether you demand perfection or choose presence. In these first 30 days, your mind learns what to expect from you. Your habits learn whether you are serious or just hopeful. And your heart learns whether this year will be safe. The first 30 days of the year quietly establish the emotional, mental, and behavioral rhythm that often carries forward into the months ahead. During this time, your nervous system is adjusting. Your mind is forming expectations, and your habits are beginning to solidify. What feels small or insignificant in these early days is actually teaching your inner world what kind of year this will be. The way you wake up, the pace you choose, the patience you extend to yourself, and the boundaries you respect all begin shaping a baseline. This baseline influences how you respond to stress, how quickly you recover from setbacks, and how consistently you show up when motivation fades. Momentum does not start with intensity. It starts with repetition. When the first 30 days are filled with gentle structure and intentional choices, your brain begins to trust that effort will be met with care rather than burnout. Conversely, when these days are driven by pressure or avoidance, those patterns often repeat automatically. Emotional habits form just as easily as physical ones. If you begin the year practicing self-awareness, honesty, and forgiveness, those qualities become your default. These early weeks are not about control or perfection. They are about alignment. Once alignment is established, progress feels less forced, more natural, and far more sustainable over time. Small choices rarely feel powerful in the moment. Yet they are the quiet force behind lasting change. The decisions you make each day, how you spend 10 minutes, what you say to yourself when things do not go as planned, whether you pause or push through exhaustion, begin stacking on top of one another long before results become visible. This is how progress truly works. It does not announce itself early. It grows beneath the surface, strengthening roots before showing any signs above ground. Because these choices seem minor, they are easy to dismiss or postpone. Skipping rest once, avoiding reflection for a day, choosing distraction over presence does not feel consequential. But repetition gives weight to everything. Over time, these small moments create habits, and habits shape identity. In the same way, choosing to hydrate, to breathe before reacting, to write one honest sentence, or to keep a promise to yourself slowly builds trust within you. That internal trust becomes confidence, not the loud kind, but the steady kind that does not collapse under pressure. Compounding is gentle but unforgiving. It works whether you are paying attention or not. This is why consistency matters more than intensity. When small choices align with care and intention, they accumulate into stability, resilience, and a sense of forward movement that feels natural rather than forced. The year does not respond to pressure, force, or relentless self-criticism. No matter how strong your motivation may feel at the beginning, pressure creates urgency, and urgency keeps the mind in a constant state of tension, always chasing results and fearing delay. When a year is built on that foundation, even progress feels heavy. Intention works differently. It begins with clarity, with knowing why you are moving forward rather than punishing yourself into motion. Intention gives direction without demanding perfection. Perfection focuses on outcomes. Intention focuses on alignment. When you live from intention, Your actions are guided by values instead of fear of failure. You make choices because they support who you are becoming, not because you are afraid of falling behind. This allows space for rest, reflection, and adjustment without guilt. Mistakes become information instead of evidence of inadequacy. A year shaped by intention is flexible, not fragile. When plans shift, you do not collapse, you recalibrate. When energy fades, you respond with care instead of force. Intention keeps. You connect it to yourself, which is what sustains consistency over time. The year follows what you repeatedly choose with awareness. When your choices come from intention rather than pressure, growth feels calmer. Progress becomes sustainable, and the journey itself begins to feel like something you can trust. Asterisk. Healing does not begin with fixing yourself or pointing out everything that feels broken. It begins with awareness, with the quiet willingness to notice what is happening inside you without immediately trying to change it. When awareness is present, judgment softens. You start to see your patterns not as failures, but as signals. Fatigue becomes a message, not a weakness. Resistance becomes information, not laziness. This shift alone creates space for healing to enter. Self-criticism often disguises itself as discipline, but it usually keeps wounds open. When you speak to yourself harshly, your nervous system stays guarded, making growth feel unsafe. Awareness does the opposite. It creates safety. It allows you to observe your emotions, habits, and reactions with curiosity instead of blame. From that place, change becomes possible because it is not forced. Healing is a process of listening before acting. When you understand why you avoid, overwork, or shut down, you gain the ability to respond with compassion rather than control. Awareness teaches you how to meet yourself where you are, not where you think you should be. And when you feel seen by yourself, even imperfectly, the need for constant self-criticism fades. Healing grows in environments of patience, honesty, and gentleness. Not pressure. Asterisk, you always have permission to begin again, no matter how much time has passed or how many times you feel you have fallen short. Starting over is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of awareness. It means you are paying attention to what no longer works and choosing to realign rather than stay stuck out of pride or fear. Even now, in this moment, you are allowed to reset your direction without explaining yourself to anyone. The idea that fresh starts belong only to January or to perfect circumstances creates unnecessary pressure. Life does not move in clean lines, and growth rarely follows a straight path. Some days you will drift, some days you will pause, and some days you will need to return to yourself again. None of that disqualifies you from progress. Each restart carries wisdom from what came before, making it more grounded than the last. Giving yourself permission to begin again softens the weight of mistakes. Instead of seeing them as endings, you learn to see them as turning points. This mindset creates resilience, not through force, but through flexibility. When you know you are allowed to try again, fear loses its grip. Forward movement becomes less about proving something and more about honoring where you are and choosing, gently, to continue.